In this video, I will show you how to use Excel Miner to partition your data for time series analysis. So first, what you should do is open your file in an Excel. So in this case, I have opened Amtrak Passengers Monthly Dataset. As you can see the name on the top in your Excel. And then I go and click on the Excel Miner tab. Now this dataset has two variables. One is the timestamp, which is month and the year, and the other variable is the variable of interest, which is the amount of ridership in thousand. This dataset is around starts from January 1991 and it ends in March 2004. And has around 159 data points. So the first thing I will show you is to partition your data. The term partition, you will see under two tabs. One under time series, as I have scrolled my mouse on that, and another time under data mining. Now the difference is this. When we select our time series partition, the partition of the data will be sequential. In other words, the program will partition the training set and then it will partition the validation set. And since the data points are time dependent, the time components of the training set is typically before the validation set. On the other hand, if you partition your data under data mining, it will randomly pick observations from the various time points, and therefore it's not going to be sequential. And it is typically a problem in time series. So let's partition the data using the time series tab. What I will do is I'll click on the partition. When you click on this particular button, you will see this time series partition data window. This data window has a couple of things to think about. First, make sure that your worksheet name is data, which matches the name of the spreadsheet I'm currently using. It has the length of the data range, and it tells me that the data set has two columns and it has 159 rows of data set. Given that the first row contains the header, there are two variables, the month and the ridership. So first thing I will do is I will select the time variable, which is month, and I will put it under time variable. And next I am partitioning the ridership data. So I will select ridership and put it under the variables in the partition dataset. Now there are many ways of partitioning this dataset. You can specify percentages or you can specify number of records. When you are thinking of forecasting a specific time period, so for example, you want to predict the next 1 year's demand of Amtrak trains. In other words, you have 12 data points in your forecasting window. In that scenario, you may want to partition by specifying records, where you want to have at least 12 in the validation set and the rest in the training set. But in this case, given that I do not have any such specific goal in mind, I'm going to tell the program to just partition the data based on a certain percentage. In any forecasting exercise, typically most people will use 70% as training and 30% as validation. So given that I want to partition in that level, I'm going to specify the percentages, and then I will select 70% as my training, which is around 111 records, and then 30% in my validation set, which includes 48 records. And I will click OK. And as you can see, it's going to create a new spreadsheet called data underscore partition TS. And then you will see this particular, the same data set, but now it has certain links. So for example, if I click on the training data, is going to highlight the data set which includes those training observations. If I click on validation, I have validation. It just highlights the validation records. Anyway, so that's how we typically partition data sets under Excel Miner. Thank you.